Next up in Leica's lineup is the D-LUX 4. Big advantage of this camera is the lens. I mean, Leica, we were talking about Leica and Leica's lenses being such, wonderful glass and making such beautiful lenses. This camera is unique in that it's in 35 millimeter, it's equivalent from a 24 to a 60 millimeter zoom lens.
Right.
So it's not a real long zoom range, but it's 24 millimeters, so it's really a wide angle zoom.
Right.
The other thing about it is it's fast. It's an f2 at 24 millimeters.
Wow.
So it's really good for low light photography.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, exactly. It's what it's meant for.
And you can shoot this camera in automatic mode and
It's
also
got full
manual?
automation and it also has full manual mode.
Great.
We can actually set the shutter speed and aperture manually, and we can manually focus it. So the M on top is the manual mode,
Right.
and then it's got this little joystick button on the back of it.
I like
And the joystick button right here, it's telling you what to do with it.
Never ever talk to me about the joystick.
This little button,
Yes, the joystick.
this little button allows me to set those settings.
What-
allows me
what
to
would that
set my shutter speed.
No, the
Right now we're
joystick?
setting shutter speed.
Okay.
See, we're moving it?
Yeah, that's
And
great.
if I move it over towards me, I can now set my apertures.
Oh, that's so easy.
So it's very quick and easy to allow me to set it.
Okay.
If I throw the camera in manual focus, which is just throwing a switch on the side of the camera to manual focus, it now gives me a focusing scale.
Now, you do it on the lens thing or up here?
Right here on the side of the lens is
Okay.
a set for autofocus macro, and manual focus.
Okay.
And you notice when I start moving that, it tells me where I'm focused. It also gives me an enlarged area in the screen so I can see what I'm trying to focus on.
Wow.
So I can tell if I'm actually in focus or not.
Okay.
It moves the little scale so you know how far away you're focused. Like right now we're about 6 feet. And it goes away after you leave it go for a minute and you touch it again, it comes back up and shows you where you're going. But you can manually focus it that way. To set our apertures and set other things, you can see the displays on the back of here now for apertures. So if I just, right now yellow is manual focus. If I just push over, I can change my shutter speeds now. So it's a very quick, straightforward way to change all those settings on the back of the camera without having to go into menus or go into other settings. It's all there at sort of the touch of a thumb. The camera does video. It does HD video at 720p
Okay, great.
at 30 frames a second. The sensor in this camera, it's 10 megapixels. It's got an optical image stabilizer in it.
Okay.
But it's capable of, it's got a high-speed picture taking mode. It'll take 6 pictures in a second. But normally it's about 2.5 frames a second.
Okay. And what about zoom?
Zoom?
What kind?
The
How much?
zoom, the optical zoom is a 2.5x.
Okay.
It's 24 millimeter to 60 millimeter, which isn't a lot. And then there's a 4x digital zoom on top of that.
Okay.
But this camera is really meant to be used close, personal. I mean, most
So
people
when you say that, you mean move,
move.
walk towards your subject or away from your subject.
Exactly. You can stretch that range and expand it. But
So
really,
Leica's really into fitness.
really into fitness. Really into fitness.
It keeps you going.
We do.
Okay, so this is a point and shoot. It looks very compact. I would imagine it would fit right in that shirt pocket, does
Pretty
it?
much fits in that shirt pocket. The lens sticks out a little bit in the front just to protect it, but it fits in your shirt pocket.
Okay.
It'll fit in your purse, fit wherever you want it to go in a jacket pocket, so you always have it with you.
Okay.
There's also a little extra hand grip
Okay.
for the D-LUX 4 also.
Cute. That is
So
cute.
it gives it a little bit easier to hold on to
And
for
then you
people
need
that have
a bigger pocket.
a bigger pocket, yes.
A bigger pocket. Cute.
And there's also an external finder for this camera also, so that if you don't want to use the
Great.
LCD screen and you want to hold the camera up to your eye, we have that option for you too.
Great. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you very, very, very much, Justin.
No problem.
Hi, I'm Deanna from PhotoAmerica.tv, and this is Cliff Hausner. He's a professional photographer in New York City for the last 25 years. Okay, we're talking about the Leica D-LUX 4 now.
Yeah, this is, if you know the name Leica, you're familiar with the quality that the camera has. I mean, Leica's a name in photography that's been around for many, many years, and their previous rangefinder cameras are well known, and they're, cameras that I've used since I think the M3 was the first model that I used. And I absolutely love that camera. I love all their previous film cameras. They're pretty amazing cameras. And I think they've stepped up when they came into the digital world, and they stepped into the digital world. They wanted that same quality out of their cameras. So if you're familiar with the Leica name and you like the Leica name, you're going to find that the same quality that you're familiar with in the previous cameras is also in this Leica. It's a point-and-shoot camera, but has amazing picture quality.
Yeah, I actually saw some of the shots you
Yeah,
took.
I took this camera out, and at first it was a little bit awkward for me because I wasn't used to the feel of the camera. But I think what happened is as I started to use it more and more, I felt more and more comfortable with it.
I think you're just being modest.
I think so. I think what happened is,
Incredible.
yeah,
I mean, we have to show the viewers some of your shots, if that's okay with you.
okay.
Incredible.
Well, I did them kind of quickly, but if you guys
Just
you want to show them, okay. They're you know, I think they came out great. Maybe because the camera's such a good camera that it
Although
did
there is
the
a
work.
reflection, there's a couple of reflections.
Where I'm in it? Yeah, that's not so great.
Those are
right?
hot. I like
yeah,
it.
you like them?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I did try to shoot action with it. I think when I had to go into the function.
The ones with the ball
Soccer
is
ball
like
in it?
literally floating midair.
Yeah, it took me a little bit of time to understand where that sports mode was in here to be able to use it, but once I did, I loved it. I like to be able to change the aspect ratio here.
Okay.
You can go from a 4:3 to a 3:2 to a 16:9, and you're giving a true 16:9. But the thing that blew me away, as with most Leica products, is they have amazing lenses, and the lens quality and the image quality just jumps out at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alive. It's very
Yeah.
three-dimensional.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
necessarily
and that
find
sports
that.
mode is freaky.
Yeah.
Almost. It was just a little bizarre almost
Right.
to see how everything was so three-dimensional. That's exactly it.
Right. I try to use the cameras generally as most people would use them. So I'll use them in a program mode or I'll use them in a manual mode because depending on how I think the camera is going to be used. One of the things that was a bit of a trial for me, especially in the beginning, was not having a viewfinder.
Was that to get the battery in?
What's that? No. One of the things is that I like with most of my camera because I'm so used to after 25 years of shooting
Right.
to picking up a camera and being able to look through a viewfinder.
Right.
It was a little bit awkward with me, and maybe that was the issue that I had in the very beginning. Was that when I picked the camera up, there was no viewfinder, so I'm doing I'm looking for the viewfinder and
Right.
there isn't one.
But that's true for so many point and shoots.
Right, now point and
Right.
shoots are very few of them are coming with viewfinders. And what I did find though is that the screen in the back, because it was so large, that I was able to hold the camera up, looking into the back of the camera, then position where I wanted it to be because you have live view. And live view is giving you something that that you may not have when you're looking through the viewfinder. You're actually just seeing what's happening, but you're not actually seeing what the lens is seeing. Where here you're seeing exactly what the lens is seeing. I also did like the fact that you can you have a hot shoe on it, so if you do want to add a flash to it, you can. It has a built-in flash, a pop-up built-in flash, which is fairly easy to open up. But also you can. It has a certain mode where it will pop the flash up for you to let you know. When they see that you're in a low light situation that might not be able to photograph, they'll pop the flash up for you automatically. And one of the other things about Leica is since I've owned them for so long and I know the camera very well, is at least all of my film cameras for sure have held their value. I mean, the value of those cameras and the lens quality, because it's such great lenses, those things have really held up. I don't know about the digital world, but I have a feeling that the camera, because it's a Leica, even though megapixels are stepping up and things are changing, I think that the quality of the camera and the name Leica still holds a certain cachet.
Well, yeah. I mean, the company stands behind its product. I know that, I believe I read an article where if you have a problem, you can pretty much dial right into the president of the company and say, hey, I have a problem.
I'm not sure he liked that, but I guess you could. If you
Actually,
wanted
I think it was when I disturbed him while he was having dinner with his family.
I think that might be a
I
problem.
think that was when he was a little upset, but he wasn't totally pissed off. He
He
was just
wasn't.
like, can I just finish my green beans?
And then I'll come back to you. Okay.